On this breezeless day, I see more spurts of bubbles rise across the pond, radiating out into bubble circles of different sizes that linger for only a second before they too pop. I know these bubbles well. They are the burping and belching of methane gas released from the pond's murky digestive tract, where microbes living in the cold, dark sediments feast on the remains of ancient plants and animals buried beneath the thick, sticky mud. These bubbles hold a secret. With funnel-like homemade bubble traps I invented as a graduate student while studying lakes in Siberia, I've captured bubbles on this pond, bottled them up, and analyzed their methane content in a laboratory for decades. What I've learned from the bubbles I've collected on this pond, and many others like it, is that a unique source of methane dominates the bubbles from these Arctic lakes, particularly lakes beneath which permafrost is rapidly thawing. Ancient carbon locked away as the remains of plants and animals that died and became incorporated into permafrost soils thousands of years ago is being released as bubbles of methane. Compared to an equal amount of carbon dioxide, methane is a far more potent greenhouse gas, contributing to climate warming by trapping the sun's radiation and heating Earth's surface. Once the permafrost thaw process has begun, this lake and millions of other permafrost thaw lakes strewn across the Arctic will continue to consume the frozen soils around them, generating more methane, which in turn leads to more warming and thawing. This vicious feedback cycle threatens to accelerate climate warming beyond what most models predict. I arrived at this pond in 2000 as a 24-year-old graduate student who thought that survival in this world depended on my own hard work and an iron will. I moved away from my family at the age of 12. In 1992, at age 16, I went to live on my own for a year in Russia in the aftermath of the fall of the Soviet Union. Having discovered as a child the serenity and escape from humanity that remote lakes offer, I came to Alaska in 2000 with a will to be among such lakes, to know them and to learn the secrets of their scientific importance. Today, I am the wife of a Minnesota farmer who splits his time between seeking ways to grow food more sustainably in the U.S. Midwest and assisting me in the Arctic with science. I am also the mother and joint homeschool teacher of our 2 boys, who often accompany us on our research trips into the wilderness. Coming to terms with my tripartite role of wife, mother, and scientist, I've had to face an entirely new kind of challenge: the dark inner workings of my own heart. Like the university's pond whose gluttony consumes the very shores that outline its existence, I, like all people of the human race, was born apt to take from people and my environment more than was my nature to give back. But there is hope for people as they age and mature, if their ears are open to wisdom and their hearts to change. As a scientist and a Christian, I believe that if we are to be good stewards of this earth we call home, we must start by knowing it. Knowing it requires time spent observing and watching, connecting pieces of information in our minds, and discerning what is right. We can propagate goodness as we share discoveries of the natural world with our children, grandparents, and friends by spending time with them in nature, studying it, drawing it, and writing about it. As a scientist who wasn't convinced 20 years ago that climate change was immediately observable, and as a Christian who 20 years ago wasn't sure I believed in God, today I believe in both. We have a responsibility to take care of the planet and the people who live on it. We cannot afford to procrastinate any longer. We also have a choice about how we view change. We can adapt to it and look for ways to help make the changes positive. I'm thankful for the God